Hi guys, it's reaction time. We've got Motley Crue and Fight for Your Right. Well, I don't know about this, man. I've got to cover it because Motley Crue are such a big deal, aren't they? But fuck me. Why? Just why? Why would you cover this song? I don't know. Why not bring something original out? Although the last song they brought out, I couldn't get along with that at all, man. That was awful. Dogs of War was just awful. But, I mean, they were such a big deal to me growing up that I feel like I need to at least give them a chance. We know about all the issues with Vince's voice, but at least I thought, at least we can have another original song just to, maybe bring back the hope that there's something left of Motley Crue. But to tell you the truth, man, I mean, I don't mind the song, but I was never a great lover of it. It was okay, but it wasn't like the best song out of that time. You know what I mean? It's quite iconic, obviously. But, man, Motley Crue covering it, I think they might have done it in a live show before. But it just doesn't make any sense. It's almost like they want to bring on the hate. That's how it feels to me. It's like they want to wind people up. And I think as soon as you see that they've covered this song, it'll wind people up. Because they want something original. It's a bit like Guns N' Roses, isn't it? And they can't bring out anything new. Whatever they do bring out is like a rehash of something that they did years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like a hidden track or something. They can't, for some reason, they can't bring themselves to write anything. Anyway, decent. Anyway, so Fight for Your Right, Motley Crue. Here we go. Without further ado, I wonder if I can get through it. Here we go.
Tommy, 6, 5, let's make some noise. Kick it.
Oh, it's just funny hearing Vince Neil or the band like do a song like this. The lyrics are just making me laugh. I don't know how old they are now. I mean, this was like almost a piss take, wasn't it? Out of, I'd say that the Beastie Boys was almost taking the piss out of bands like Motley Crue back then. You know what I mean? That was how the song was. It was funny. And now it's like Motley Crue are doing it at like 60 odd years old or whatever they are. It's just quite amusing, really. Why would you even choose this song? It's almost like they want to be laughed at. And, it's not the same, but when Sebastian Bach brought his album out this year, which ain't bad, by the way. I mean, it's not the best album in the world, but I didn't mind it. But the difference with Sebastian Bach is sometimes he can go on stage and his voice be half decent, and he can sing and you can hear the lyrics. But when you know that, like, Vince really struggles the way he struggles, and then there's all the rumours flying around about, you know, AI on the last song. It could be, couldn't it? I mean, if they tapped in, you know, Fight for Your Right in the style of Vince Neil in a computer in AI, this is what it would sound like probably. Because it's not remembering Vince Neil from now, is it? It's remembering him from years ago. But it's just embarrassing, I think. Embarrassing that they can't write a song. Embarrassing that they chose this song. Just the whole thing is just cringeworthy. And, you know, I don't know what their aim is. I mean, they bring out some sort of new metal track on the last song, which just didn't resonate with me at all. And now they're going for this song. Where's the... What are they doing? What are they going for? I just don't know anymore, man. I mean, I do understand, in a way, why they went for that sort of track last time. Because, like, people, rightfully so, said, you know, not in my opinion, I want to hear the Motley Crue attempt something like, yeah, a bit of rock and roll, like, you know, at least attempt it. Because it's not as if that's like new metal. Even that song they brought out is in fashion or really popular now, is it? They might as well have gone further back and done a rock and roll song. They decided to do Dogs of War, which is almost new metal sort of sounding, trying to sort of sound modern. But it failed, I think. It failed totally in that. It almost made it sound even older than it would have been if they did a rock and roll song. I don't know how you can fail at that. But they did. They failed, in my opinion, by the way. In my opinion. And this is just a fucking joke. I mean, it doesn't really do anything with the song. I don't mind John Five's guitar work. I know he's a great guitarist. But, you know, there's plenty of guitarists that could do this guitar work. I'm not a guitarist, by the way, so this is not me judging. But, you know, I've heard plenty of good guitarists that could play this. There's loads of good lead breaks, but how many other guitarists could do those lead breaks quite easily, you know, these days? And you've got fucking kids these days, and it's sort of brought the magic out of the guitar a little bit, hasn't it? You got little kids, like I said the other day to someone, they can play, you know, Eruption. They can fucking pick up a guitar like 5 years old or something, start playing Eruption. It sort of takes the magic out of guitars, you know, where you had your guitar gods in the 80s, you know, Eddie Van Halen, you know, Vito Bratta and people like that. You would think, fucking hell, man, how can they play guitar like that? But now it's sort of the magic has gone out, where you have to really almost do something with the style that you play, not the speed or anything like that, because, like I said, fucking kids can play fucking like that now, which is a bit disappointing, especially because I can't. But I just don't, there's nothing in this. It's not really changing the song up that much either, apart from loads of lead breaks from John Five. But that's not making the song listenable. This is one of the first songs I've ever done where I feel like I don't want to play the rest of the song. How bad is that? Should I muck through it? Should I do it? Yeah, I should do it. Let's just listen to the rest. I don't know where it's... I know we're in the middle of a guitar solo. I feel quite bad about cutting that out, but there's been guitar solos throughout this fucking song anyway, hasn't there? But this is, for me, just awful. I never want to hear this again. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Here we go. Here we go for the rest. idea do you think it was to do that? Do you think it was Tommy Lee's, Nikki Sixx? I don't know. I don't think Vince. I think Vince just gets the phone call to say, right, turn up, we're doing this. But I think the rest of them, who would come up with that? It's got to be Nikki in it. It's got to be Nikki Sixx. Thought that's a good idea. Why don't we do "Fight for Your Right" by the Beastie Boys? That'd be good for the fans. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Fucking hell. Oh, isn't there a new EP or something they got coming out called Cancelled? How fucking like how predictable is that as well? I mean, I just can't, like, all the things that people want to take the piss out of rock and roll for, or heavy rock, they just give you all the ammunition, Motley Crue, now, don't they? They give you all the ammo to take the piss. And I think they do it on purpose. They must fucking love it. I really do think that. Who would this appeal to, this song? Who would it appeal to? I don't think it'd appeal to anyone who knows the original, because it doesn't do that much difference, does it? But back then it was like, it's almost as well like back then the Beastie Boys did it. It had a certain sort of grime to it, and a bit of, I suppose, I don't know, a bit dangerous, because the way it was produced, almost like a band fucking around like in their garage, like sort of thing. But you know, I mean, it had that sort of edge to it. And now they add this sort of really shit production to it. It is bad. It does sound bad. And then this is produced by Bob. Yeah, it's produced by Bob Rock. I've heard better production off of independent bands like every day of the week. You know, that do independently record their album at home. Better than this. Awful. Absolutely awful sounding. It's got that sort of, you know, really horrible modern production that doesn't do anything any favours. It's an awful song. It's an awful cover. John Five did a few good guitar licks, but the rest of it is awful. I mean, fucking Vince Neil. I don't know what to say about Vince. It says here at the bottom of the video, in all the notes below the video, auto-generated by YouTube. Do you think? I think the whole thing was auto-generated by something else. Fucking hell, it just sounds fucking terrible. Anyway, sometimes I have to feel like I blow the cobwebs out a little bit and listen to something. I didn't have high expectations, and people would say, you know, Lee, you're trying to slow down a bit on the channel, so you go and cover a song that would probably be awful. Yeah, sometimes I just want to get a bit of a moan out. But seriously, apart from that, I'm a massive fan of Motley Crue in their, you know, first few albums. Well, right up to Dr. Feelgood, I think they were a great band. You know, I love even Girls, Girls, Girls is just a fantastic album. And, you know, I love all those, you know, obviously the classics. And I only want the best for the band, and I want to hear them return to something that, you know, is remotely Motley Crue. So I want the best for them. So I don't want anyone to really be offended that I had it on from the beginning. I sort of did, because I thought, why do a cover? That wound me up straight away. But I want the next song. I'd love them to bring something out and me be surprised by it, and I would give you my total honest thoughts and say, man, I'm really shocked at that. I just don't think they got it in them anymore. A bit like fucking Guns N' Roses, isn't it? They're awful, awful. Anyway, let me know what you think of that cover of Fight for Your Right from Motley Crue in the comments below, and I'll see you soon.